Oh my God, is this bike filthy?
Not the windshield.
No, they did a nice job on the windshield and the mirrors.
And not not the mirrors.
Thank you very much.
That's the only thing I care about, safety.
Yep.
No, let's say if you want to have a dirty bike, that's your problem. But I don't want you to get in an accident.
And I wouldn't want to get in an accident with a dirty bike. We're leaving Kalispell here this morning. It's June 15th, 36 degrees. I've got the heated gear running, and I'm loving this.
On a trip like this, for the most part, when you ride on a road, you leave it in your rearview mirror and you don't see it again. But this was one of those times when I got to ride a road that I had ridden the day before in the opposite direction. I thought it was beautiful the day before, but this was a time when riding it in the opposite direction, it turned out to be even more beautiful than the day before.
We've got about a 335-mile ride today. We're going to stop in Missoula to grab something to eat. Then we're going to do LOLO Pass through Idaho and spend the night over in Washington State. So Carl hasn't done LOLO Pass. I think he said 2 times that he was going to do it, and he got turned around because of wildfires.
We pulled into Missoula and grabbed a late breakfast, early lunch at IHOP. By the time we came out, it had warmed up enough to not have to put on cold weather gear. It was less than a 15-mile ride down to LOLO, Montana, where Route 12 took a right-hand turn, and we started what I think is called the LOLO Trail. Basically, Route 12 follows the route that Lewis and Clark took through the Bitterroot Mountains on their way over to Washington State. It's about a 210-mile ride from LOLO to Lewiston, and it definitely lives up to all the hype as being one of the 10 best roads in America. It's full of twists and turns as it follows the Clearwater River through the mountains, and some of the prettiest scenery we had seen so far.
All right, I'm going to get ready to pass.
If I get it dotted line.
Why are you going to do that?
I don't like being behind this guy.
Why are you going to be behind the next guy? What the fuck difference does it make?
If I get it dotted line.
Oh, isn't that the next guy you're behind?
I don't care. I'll pass him too.
I see. And I'll tell you what, this land probably hasn't changed much since back then, has it? I mean, you look around here, there's nothing.
Yeah.
I bet there are places out here where man has never set foot. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta wash this bike. I gotta get it to a car wash. I'd like to.
You never know I washed mine.
No? Well,
I mean,
bugs and
I
shit?
guess you would. That's what happened.
Yeah, you're never happy. That's why I don't wash it.
Yeah. Right. Well,
You know my intruder. I gotta tell you something. I'm embarrassed, but you know my intruder has not been washed since my North Carolina trip in 2009.
yeah, I just couldn't do that.
Yeah, quite a ways to go.
Yeah, I know. But
Well, get your nap in. Then we should be able to make it the rest of the way once you get your nap in.
yeah, I just need a
Safely.
refresher here. A refresher.
It is hot though.
I'm gonna wet down my.
But I think we're going to get clouds, so I think you're going to be okay.
I'm gonna wet down my helmet liner anyway.
Oh shit, Richie.
We're gonna have to retake. Do a retake.
You know what I did? I turned it on and I started pointing it at you, but I never turned the recorder on. Okay, so Richie, my question to you
How
is,
you doing?
what do you think of Lolo Pass?
I already told you.
I know. Tell the camera.
I think the scenery is spectacular. The twisties are unbelievable. The road in the upper section, right after you cross over into Idaho, was not that great, honestly. Kind of chopped up quite a bit from the winter, I think.
I agree.
Being patched. There's a lot of gravel on the side, but it just recently changed, and this section here is awesome. If it stays like this, we're going to have a great ride today.
I agree, Richie.
That's Richard.
Richard to
There are
you.
people around.
That'll be Richie to me and Richard to the rest of you. Okay, over and out, Richard.
Over and out. While we had been taking a break at the rest area, a young couple pulled in a camper van. It was obviously rented. It had the name of the agency they had rented it from. Turned out they were from England and had picked the camper van up in San Francisco and were touring around the West. We had a really nice conversation with them and talked about their experience in traveling around the West, and they couldn't have been more exuberant about what they had seen. The things these two young people said about our country made Carl and I very proud. We continued our ride towards Lewiston, and the temperature just continued to climb until it got into the upper 80s. We stopped at the first gas station that we came to get a cold drink and a snack. We were in a place called Kamaya, Idaho. I guess it's a town, but from what I could see, the only thing that was there was a pawn shop, and this place right next door to the pawn shop that was called Dale and Jill's Sporting Goods. They had gas pumps out front. We gassed up. You always do when you're out west. And when we went inside, it was amazing. They had everything. Archery. I mean, this was really a sporting goods shop.
along with kind of a general store. You could get snacks and drinks, and they really kind of did everything. And the owner and his wife were about the nicest people I think I've ever met. They couldn't have been more accommodating and were really interested in us and where we were off to, where we had come from. While we're sitting on a bench outside having our snack and a drink, a man came out with his young daughter. She couldn't have been more than, I don't know, maybe 7 to 9 years old, and she had just gotten her first archery set. Man, was she stoked. Really kind of cool thing to see. We continued our ride towards the Washington border. Decided not to cross over until the next day. We figured we'd stay in Lewiston because it seemed like a bigger town than Clarkson, Washington. It was getting late in the day, so we had a lot of shade for the end of this ride, and that really helped out with the heat. We really appreciated the scenery and the wildlife that we had seen for the day.
Wow, this is so nice, man. No traffic, blue sky, sunshine.
You know, you got four-legged traffic.
A little bit, just enough to let you know it's two-way
dangerous. Yeah, enough to let you know it's dangerous.
Yeah,
Dangerous out here.
and I would love the fact that since we didn't hit him, I love the fact that we saw a deer.
Oh yeah, I love seeing the wildlife. I'd rather they waited until I was stopped.
Yeah, well, I kind of like the fact that you weren't in the lead because you probably wouldn't have saw the deer.
We pulled into Lewiston, Washington, found a Fairbridge Inn with a good Italian restaurant in the parking lot, unloaded the bikes, walked across the parking lot to have dinner, and called it a night. Day 24 in the books.